stroke was. I can see the stroke scar and everything. And I
Yeah,
just focus on that and start relieving it. I know that other people are sitting in their light too, because I can see it when I go in.
yeah, me too. Hi, everyone.
I
We
let
have Kathy from Guided Light Tarot.
me
Kathleen J. Lightworker is not going to be able to join today. She has a migraine, so we'll have to send her lots of love and light. And I apologize for our tardiness, but great news. My TV only lost one leg from my desk falling. That's good. And my desk only has a couple of chipped corners. So that's good too, right?
Oh, yay.
We have to look at what is there.
Yeah. Well, always look for the positive rather than dwell on the negative.
Exactly. And I want to thank you all for listening to me this afternoon. I just had to confide. Hi, T Barb. Hi, Janet P. Hi, GR.
Betty.
Hi, Cecile.
I'm not
Who else do
focusing.
we have? Janet B.
Oh, that's who it
Uh,
is. My screen's all shrunk down small.
Teresa.
Ah,
We
there it
have
is.
Teresa as well. Thank you so much, guys, for coming. That is so nice of you.
Hello,
So,
everybody.
thank you very much. You
Well,
know, yeah.
I'm going to be introducing a new. Well, she's been on for a while, but she's a newer reader. It's Deanne Maiden Shield Tarot,
Oh,
and she reached out to me in an email, and I wrote her back and had referred her to a couple people for something she'd asked about. Got her hooked up with them, which was really great. And I couldn't stop thinking about her. So I flipped her, and I was just my guys kept on saying, "You need to talk to her. You know, you guys need to talk." So I reached out. We got talking. Absolutely love her. She's wonderful personality, and she's quite talented. And she's going to be coming on with Dean and I on Sunday morning on Dean's channel,
oh,
or
good.
because she has something she might be doing. If she doesn't make it on Dean's show, then she'll be on the Sunday show with Sharon and I. And she's such a sweet gal. I really love her, and I think
Oh,
everybody's gonna like her. So we're gonna bring her on, and she's got a really new station. She's like at the 50, 60 viewer mark right now, and so we're gonna help her build her channel and open up. And she's
that
joining
is
in on
cool.
some of the practice groups that I do privately, new
Yeah,
people and stuff. So
yeah.
really fun gal, and I really like her. And we've talked. The first time we talked for over 3 hours, and I think we're on the phone this morning for about an hour. It's like we've known each other and we're catching up. It is really fun. She's really a nice person. I really like her. Great
Oh, that's good.
personality. So she's a really good reader too, though. And
Oh,
I've
great.
got
That
talents
is
that
great.
she's has a awakening that she's doing things that she didn't even have names for, because she didn't know that there was a thing called clairvoyance. She sees, but she didn't know there was a name for it. And she's clairaudient. She hears her guides, and she hears messages. So she is a medium, and she didn't know that.
Oh,
So
that is
like,
cool. Yeah.
welcome to our world. No,
Yeah, exactly.
the voices in your head doesn't mean you're schizophrenic. So
No, exactly. That those are real. Well, you know what? Something I had great gifts in spite of all the Mercury retrogrades this week. I did have great gifts because on Monday I was freaking out, with the insurance and stuff.
oh yeah,
And
I fight with my insurance companies here in the United States nonstop,
yeah, yeah,
and it
I
shouldn't be
was,
that way.
I was thinking, geez, what am I going to do? I can't work. I just can't. I know I can. And I was laying in bed and I said, because one of my guide is Jesus. I'm the eclectic Catholic girl, or Christian
Mhm.
girl, I should say, not Catholic, Christian girl. And
What do they call that? Catholic once removed. No,
something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
my
Once or
best friend
twice
was Catholic,
removed.
so I went to church with her all the time because I love the Catholic Church and the ceremony, and I really
Yeah.
understand it because I went all the time. But I was raised Nazarene, so and then
Yeah.
as I grew up, I studied theology because I sort of have my little, as we all do, we sort of fall from grace, and then we find ourselves again and connect back to God and or to spirit or to source or whatever you want to call it. We fall, then we mature, and then we find our connection with our spirituality again. And so
Yeah.
part of my growth of doing that was studying theology. First in
Yes.
the Society of Religious Studies, and then I ended up in a multi-religion um, group of people, and what we did is we talked about our different religions, and we represented the world, I mean, of religions. And what I learned was we all call God something different. We call our angels something different. Some religions call their angels are just other gods. um, but you know what, they're all represented by
Yeah.
what each meaning of those positions are within their religions. We all have the same Bible stories, even though our
Yeah.
books may be called something different. We've all had
Yeah.
floods. We have Adam and Eve. We have the lessons of love. We have the lessons of being honest, purity. The rules are, and it's
Yeah.
spiritualism
Exactly.
is all about. It's
Yeah.
about showing love and compassion and grace and positiveness, and not bringing people down, not destroying the neighbor, not fighting and destruction. And my biggest issue with most religions is the Bible thumping, that them misquoting Bible quotes to make it mean what they want to. I Major pet peeve with me. And
Yeah.
I'll say, oh, but did you read the rest of the chapter before that and after that? Because what you just quoted doesn't mean that if you read the
Right.
story. So I'm sorry, but you need to study that a little further. Maybe I read too much of the Bible. I don't know. you know?
Well, I haven't read it very well. I must have read it at least a couple of times by going to church and, with all the readings that they have,
Mhm.
but I
I've never
haven't
read it
read it
front to back, like sit down and read it. I've read parts of it, but
right. That's basically the
a
same. But
lot of
on
the
Monday,
Psalms and things that people quote pretty regularly, and
yeah, I'm not, I can't do that.
I
There are
want to do
some
that.
quotes that
I
I
can't
will
even remember them.
paraphrase, but, I'll
Yeah.
paraphrase a few, but
The one that's my biggest one is judge. Only God can judge others. We're not to judge our. He's the one
yeah,
that makes the judgment, and my God doesn't sit on a throne with a whip, you know, beating people down because they've
my
sinned.
God
My God
doesn't
says,
either.
look at your life and look what you did and feel what you felt and know how they
Yeah,
felt. Now you learn your lesson. You judge
yeah.
yourself.
That's
And
right.
who's your
Just
worst
give me
who's the
one
worst
second. I'm
enemy is
listening.
yourself.
I'm listening. But I just need to lower the heat. My God, I'm gonna cook to death. Ugh, sorry. But yeah, you're right. One of the things that I like to keep in mind is also, now it's a paraphrase, don't forget, is, when you feel that you are alone and you're walking in the desert and all you see is one the footprint of only one person, it's me carrying you.
Mhm.
And that is very comforting to me because sometimes when you go through difficulties and you feel like that, I just think about that and it makes me feel a lot better. It really makes me
When
I feel less
when
alone.
when my mom was dying of cancer, and passed away 5 years ago, my aunt, um, who I highly respect, she said sometimes you just take your Bible and you open it up and the right verse comes forward.
Yes.
And I
Oh
went,
my
it's funny, it's like tarot cards. It's amazing. Of course, and I didn't tell her I
Ooh.
read tarot or pulling a card of affirmation. Or I love these cards, the spirit, the postcards from spirit.
Oh
I
yeah, I want to get
always
those.
they always fit whatever the reading's about. I don't
Yeah,
know how that happens, but every time I pull one, it always reflects what the readings were about, that theme. And I don't look at them. I just literally just sort of grab one out of the middle of the deck. And then when I'm done,
yeah,
I put it in the front so I'm not repeating them, because I never pull the front cards or the back cards, because that's where I stick them after I've read them. So I'm not repeating the cards.
yeah.
I love this. So, and Amazon, yeah. And Karen Sage Healer, who is now changed her channel name and I can't remember it, something Awakening, um, is the one that introduced me to these cards. And I loved them so much that as soon as she gave me the name, I bought them. And the other cards are a set that I haven't seen Debbie use in a while, but she used to use them constantly. And it's the surrender cards. And same thing, surrender to this one on the top here is surrender to attachments that result. And then it has a affirmation phrase to, love these
Oh,
cards. Same thing. It just,
yeah.
I split the deck. I randomly pull a card. I don't look at them. I don't look through. Oh, I like this picture. I just randomly pull them, and they always fit the readings. So these are
Yeah.
my two favorite Oracle decks. And
Hi, Sharon Sipe. Hi,
hi,
T
Sharon,
Barb. Thank you
T.
for
Barb,
coming.
and
You
Janet,
guys are my cheerleaders. But
Cecily, and your clients, your viewers are my viewers.
yes,
And
yes.
Teresa, I don't think I know Teresa. Hello, Teresa. My channel name's up there.
Teresa, I don't know where you live, but we might be distant cousins because all the Levines come from this one person, I believe, that came to North America in 1660. That
Wow.
would be, yeah,
I know
we
some
might be
Levines.
very, very, very distant cousins. But yeah, so on Monday, I was laying in bed and I was saying, okay, you've got to do something about this because I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm going to do, where I'm going to go, you know, and I'm not freaking out yet, but I might be soon. And the word I heard in my mind was trust, trust, trust. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, okay, I got a gift. I was told to trust. So I felt very good about that.
Now, that doesn't mean sit on your hands and do nothing. That means you have to
Not
do
at all.
the footwork, but trust that
Help
it's
yourself.
going to
Yeah,
come to you. You will find a
yeah,
resolution. I know.
exactly.
I
There's a saying, trust yourself and heaven will help you. Help yourself and heaven will help you. I
yes,
don't know what the equivalent is in English, but that's basically
that's
what it
it.
means in
That
French.
is
That's
English.
it? Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
And
it's true.
yeah, it is very true. Very true. So,
I got the new deck. I got the Urban Tarot.
oh yes, the Herb and Tarot. How do you like it? Because it's
I
tough days.
I love the artwork, and I haven't read the book completely, but I read intuitively, as you know, and through mediumship. But
Yeah,
I'm an art. I love art of all genres. I spent my childhood reading art books seriously, studying the great artists. My mom used to subscribe to the Timelight art series, and we had
yeah,
every artist out there, and I loved them. And I read those art books like crazy. But the art in this, she has so much symbolism, so many different types of symbolism in this beautiful artwork set in New York City around real people that she knows. She took a number of years. I was just reading her biography, and she credits all the artists that posed for the drawings and artwork she did around them. And it's just a beautiful deck. And
Yeah.
as I read it, like I know people that watch me read, sometimes I'll see it. The fish in the cup on the King of Cups, the fish will move. I will visually see that fish flopping around in the cup, even though the
Oh,
card,
that's so cool.
I get this visual. And that's usually an indicator when I see that I'm talking about somebody that's a water sign or a Pisces specifically.
Yeah.
Just like the crab, I'll see the crab go like this on some of the cards when they have the little crab on.
Yeah.
That's a Cancer. Cancer,
Yeah.
and I'll pick up those little things that I get a visual movement on my card, and or something. I'll just look at the picture and you look at this picture and you see some cups laying down and stuff, but maybe when I pick up the card, I notice just something in the background pops. It looks brighter,
Yeah.
not even part of the forefront of the picture, but that
Yeah.
will have meaning for me when I'm reading, and that's what I'll use that symbolism in my reading because that's what I was supposed to see on that card. So it's interesting,
Exactly.
really interesting. And I know we all read in different styles, but I've actually surprisingly ran across quite a few people that's what happens when they read. Just something in the card just pops out
Yeah.
that they
I'm
may
like
not
that.
even ever noticed. And
Yeah.
I love to look at the intricacies of what, especially in very modern art. It has so many little images in that are part of the background. Like this card is like the guy sitting on a subway station. He's looks like he's smoking like a crack pipe or some kind of drug pipe. But
Hold
there's
on,
like
Jack. I
these
get it.
weird
Get it.
dogs in the background, these three dogs that are like
Oh yeah.
part of the background, and they're
Does it look?
visually
Do
look
they
really
look like
intriguing.
three-headed dogs or something?
Yeah, it's like a three-headed dog.
Yeah.
And I'm
I
sure there's
I know.
mythology. I'll look it up because I know there's mythology behind the three-headed dogs. Harry Potter movie
If
had
you
three-headed dogs. Um,
Yeah, if you read the book on the Thoth deck, you'll
well,
have a very good.
this is a mix of
Yeah.
the tough deck and
Yeah.
Rider Right, so it's combining the two styles of cards.
Yeah. Exactly. They're following the yeah, I got the card here, right here. That's the card you were looking at,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
They're
the tough
following,
system.
yeah. They're following a little bit uh, the Rider Waite in the sense that there are no pip cards.
Mhm,
Everything is makes sense as opposed
mhm.
to a Thoth. But the philosophy is Thoth based.
Tough.
Now, when you look at the cards from 1 to 10, they're the same as the.
Mhm.
They say they're the same as the.
Well, when I was looking through it, I was looking at him without looking at the book, and I was saying, "Oh, well, she's calling the magician um, music or muse, represented by
Yeah,
music." But it's the same thing. Music is a form of magic.
yeah,
It's
and
magical
Muse
sound
is a
versus I don't know. It's still a form of illusion. You know,
yeah, and Muse is also a another word for magician. I think I might
magician
be
or
wrong.
inspiration, or
Inspiration. Yeah,
mhm.
yeah.
An
So yeah,
artist's
no,
muse
it's
is usually who inspires who
yeah,
creates
that's
the
right.
imagery and me back into my art studies.
T Barb is saying Cerberus is the three-headed dog, watchdog of the
Yes,
underworld. T Barb has a channel as well.
you do. When did
I
you
think
open your
so.
channel?
I think
Barb, send
so.
me a link. We need to work
Yeah, I'm
together.
subscribed to it. I'll have to send it to you.
Oh yeah, send me the link. I know
Yeah.
T-Barb and I both started studying the Lenormand deck from watching Becca on House of
Yeah.
Lenormand. We both just got totally drawn into it.
Oh, yeah, it's not you, T Barb. I'm sorry, I got somebody else then. It's Barb. Is it Barb Ralph?
Oh, well, I know T-Barb and
Tracy
I
Ralph?
both
Oh,
been studying Lenormand.
yeah.
We started studying because of Becca, and I know T-Barb and I probably did the same struggles. It's an extremely complex system. It's very analytical, which I love, and I love puzzles and all that. And to me, it's like working a really intricate puzzle.
I tried.
But
I tried.
I broke it down into bits and pieces and then combinations, and then one day all of a sudden, click, it worked. I still have
I
problems
need,
with the grand tabloids, and
yeah.
I have to spend hours on them. And I can watch Becca, and I can read right along with her, and I see it as she goes, and she makes it look so easy.
Oh, she does. She does. She
Yeah.
has memorized
She
all the
has got it
cards very
into
well.
a fluent art. I would love
Yeah.
to be able to read it like that. I
Yeah.
stumble through it. I do the short spreads, get really good messages from the short spreads. I have 3 Lenormand decks I use pretty regularly on my, when I read. I
Yeah.
have like 15 decks here in arm's width, and I just reach out and I feel like an electrical sensation when that's the deck I'm supposed to have. It's like spirit tells me which one, or as Johnny Apprentice always says, spirit picks the deck. Uh, that's
Yeah.
true. Spirit picks the decks, and every so
Very
often, it's the
much.
wrong deck thrown,
Very
and I'll hear
much.
this isn't the right deck. You know,
It just won't, the thing won't feel right.
yeah,
It won't
yeah,
feel
no,
right.
or it won't even make sense sometimes.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
had
You look
one
at
time
it and you're like,
cards, and I
hmm,
looked at them and I went, I don't get
yeah,
it. Is this? And then I thought to myself, is this wrong? And my guide said, no, read it. Read it. Read what you see. And I went, okay, now what am I going to do with this? And so I read what I was seeing on the cards, and I said, this is not making any sense to me. I hope it does to you. And as soon as I read it, what I was seeing and what I was getting from the images of the card, the person goes, oh, that's spot on. I'm like, call me later and explain it to me because I don't get it. Yes.
I know,
I never heard
I
back.
know.
Great. I'm glad it really meant something to that person, but it never made any sense to me, but I'm glad it helped them. And that was what
Yeah,
the message was what I got from the
yeah.
cards was the message, and it was intended for that person. So
I was wondering, Sisson, maybe you know something about that. Um, there is my friend just before this. That's why I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off. My friend called me and said that there are convoys. Hi, Connie. Thank you for coming.
oh, hi Connie.
Oh, I feel so blessed when I see people come. Thank you so much.
I love Connie.
Me too. Me too.
Connie and I have become messenger friends. We chat off and on all the time. It's funny. She's one of those people. Do you ever have people that you just, I'll get hits on people. I don't know why they'll pop in my head in the middle of the night. And I think, I got a reading for her,
Yes.
and I'll do that for Connie periodically. She'll pop in my head, and I'll just get on and text her and say, oh, I just got this hit, blah, 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 blah. You know,
Yeah.
and she's one of those people
Yeah.
I just like, I connect with her. We have an energy link for some reason, and sweetest gal too. Sweet, sweet person.
Yeah.
Yes, and
I
big
know I
hug.
have, every single person I get to read, I feel I get a connection with, and I always think about them.
Oh, yeah, and then if I have their messenger, or I can find them through Wayshowers or something and I get a hit, I will email them and say, "You were on my mind. I got this," you know. I hope it's helpful. It I just feel like I got the message for a reason, and I need to share it back.
Yeah.
And
So,
and
um,
our everybody I've read for privately and online, fantastic
you
group
you
of people.
yeah, you get connected. I'm very sorry, T Barb, you lost your cat, your little
Oh,
kitty.
I lost my
Yeah,
cat last year. He just disappeared. I mean, he was here, and I knew he wasn't feeling good, and haven't seen him for a year now, and I miss him because I had him for 15 years.
yeah,
He was my boo-boo kitty. His name was Teddy.
yeah.
He was a beautiful cat.
I have my I don't know if I'll be. Whoops! I'll be right back. I'm losing my earbuds.
Mm.
That's my baby girl, Lady Faith.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, she had a colic on the top of her head here. It was the funniest thing. And
Is that a
yeah,
golden retriever?
yeah.
My
And she must have been a fish in another life because when she ran away, it was in the water to go to a lake, to
oh,
go
they
in a
love
lake.
water. They
Oh,
love
it's
water.
crazy. I would try to get her to come out of the water with food. She would not come out.
Wow. Yeah.
She would not come out, even for food.
I
And she
have
was a fat baby.
my dog is a golden retriever and a Rodeo Ridgeback mix. And he looks like the retriever, but he has the dark ridge. But it only stands up when he's scared, or he's he's barking or getting, aggressive. He's a
Yeah.
docile dog. He's a big baby, big playful, loves balls. Kids next door yesterday threw a Nerf ball over the fence. He found it. I walk out into the garage because we leave the garage door open so we can come inside and get out of the cold. And it's pinned off so he doesn't get on jump up on the car or anything. 'Cause, that'll happen to the paint. But I walk out there and he's laying on his bed and he's got styrofoam from this Nerf ball that he has shredded playing with. Well, I'm like, "Are you tearing your bed up?" And then I look at him like, "No, his bed's not made out of that foam, that kind of foam."
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it and then realized that, oh, that's one of those Nerf balls. They've been shooting those Nerf guns and they went over the fence. I'm sure he had a ball.
Oh,
And he was probably out there because he was out there playing. He goes out there and throws his ball for himself. It's really funny. That dog can throw his ball across the yard 45 feet up in the air and go catch it before it lands. It's really funny watching him play. And he's got a
wow.
ball and a rope on a ball, and he'll grab the rope in that loop that you play tug of war with, and
Yeah.
he'll shake his head and he'll fling it, and that ball will fly, and he'll go chasing. It's really funny to watch him. Yeah, he's self-maintaining. I get out there and play with him too, and so does my husband. But it's funny watching him in 5 in the morning, and he's out there playing ball with himself. And we can see him out the bedroom window, because he's out there making noise.
Yeah.
So it's funny.
Oh,
Honey, I love you both. Can't say so.
yeah. Isn't that sweet? And she dreamt of us in the 70s to in the 70s to the 90s.
Yeah, I think Connie and I have a Native American link somehow.
Yeah.
It's funny because I tie into all the Native American politics and all that. Well, my daughter is Native American, so I keep up on her tribe's
Yeah.
politics. But anytime Connie asks me a question, I see it. I see the the tribal leaders, and it's amazing. And then, of course, my guide. In fact, Connie told me how to spell my guide's name when I discovered who my guide was. He's Atawanta, and he's a shamanic healer. I think of possibly a Hopi tribe.
Oh,
I got a vision of him now. I need to send the picture that I have that looks like him. He showed me what he looked like in life. And he's like 5,000 years old. He's ancient. He hasn't had a lifetime in over 5,000 years, is what he tells me. And
wow.
and he's the one that is teaching me to do the light work and the ascension work on the other side that I do, which is
Okay.
fascinatingly amazing. But I don't do Reiki. I do a different type of light work that my guides have taught me how to do. And
Okay.
it's a shamanic work is what I'm told, but they're teaching me how to work with fractures of chakras after people have gone through their life review and have completed that life review before they step into the heavenly realm from the life
Yeah.
review. I go in with my guide and he's teaching me how to heal the fractures of the different chakras that have been impacted in their lives, like the heart chakra that gets
Hmm.
shattered from things that have broke their heart. And what we're doing is we're sending different types of light in to heal that chakra. And then it mends and it heals and it allows them to heal so that they don't carry that into the next life. No, not all chakras are healed. That's why we bring back some traumatic
Yeah.
um, lessons that we have to learn, because maybe it's fractured, but it needs to be healed by a lifetime experience and contract, you know. But these are the ones that you've lived through, you've healed, you've done all the work to get, and that's what they're showing me I'm doing. It's amazing. And now I know why I'm constantly tired even after I wake up, because I'm working in my sleep all night on the other side of the bed.
Ah,
And
yeah.
I was getting all these, when readers would read for me, they would say, "Oh, my guide's telling me to thank you for the ascension work you're doing." And I thought, well, and they'd say, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I do some light work, healing work here, you know." And then I've always, I don't know, when I was young, I heard something that that said when you have a loved one pass, part of the rising in heaven and ascending in heaven is for the loved ones to pray for their soul when they
Yeah.
cross for ascension. And I thought it
Yeah.
was so beautiful that from that point on, I've done it as long as I can remember. I don't even know how old I was when I read that. I started adding that to my prayers all my life, and I've done it so long. I have this list that I have that I pray for. It's like I've got these names memorized that, and I just keep adding to the list. And somebody put somebody in the chat, please send a prayer. My mother's passed on. Boom, they're on my list, and I add them in. And so I thought, well,
Yeah.
it must be that. Well, I'm helping
Yeah. You've
people.
told me that once before. You have a book that you write the names
I
in
don't
and you
even
continue to pray for these
know, it's in my
people.
head. They're not
It's in
written.
your head.
It's in my head. And
Oh,
when I start
I
my
can't
prayer,
imagine.
I don't know how I've memorized it. Probably because I'm dyslexic and memorize everything. But yeah, I just run
It's
through
possible. Yeah.
and it's like it goes through so fast I can't even understand the names anymore, because it's just a constant running list of friends, family,
Yeah.
loved ones, people I've been in contact with. Uh, I even grab onto, like, people that write into Linda G's channel. Anybody that's on her prayer list, please add those in on my prayers for healing. And I just, I know Debbie keeps one. I know, different readers that keep those lists. I just say, and pull those into my list if they're not on my list.
Right.
And it's just part of
Yeah.
my nighttime meditation. And then most recent stuff is usually in my morning meditation, or people that are ill and healing, and are
Yeah.
fighting. Like your mom would go on my morning meditation list,
Thank you.
because that's um,
You know what she told me? I asked her how she felt, and she said that she felt indifferent to this. She said the only thing that bothers me is not having energy. She's not used to not have energy because my mother is the energy bunny. She
yeah,
keeps
that
on
was my
going and
mom
going and
too.
going. Yeah.
We used to
Yeah,
laugh at my
but
mom because she would get up and get in her walker and literally walk around in circles, and because she had a living room kitchen
yeah,
you could that went into a hallway, so she could
yeah.
literally do laps around from the kitchen back into the living room. And she just wanted to go do something. She knew she couldn't stop and do anything, but just getting up, moving around was important to her.
Yeah, exactly.
And we go, Mom, you need to
Exactly.
sit down and rest.
Yeah,
No,
it's
no, I want to do another lap. She's so
I
funny.
know, I know. My mom, she'll come here and help me, um,
And
and
you're
then
going, no,
she'll
no,
go.
let me take care of you. You're not here to take care of you.
Yeah, it's like because after 10 minutes, I can't anymore. I have to sit. I have to take a break. It's just, mm, that's my reality.
I
But she
understand.
won't
I
do
have
it.
MS and I'm limited. If I do overexert
Yeah,
myself or overstress my body, it's not that I don't want to do it, it's that my body won't let me do it. And it says
exactly.
it's time to let your muscles rest, catch your breath, and then get up and go again.
Yeah. But my mom, she just keeps on going. And I'm like, Mom, I can't rest unless you take the break with me.
Yeah.
And she just can't. So I get up. By the time she leaves, I'm in so much pain. But I'm like, Mom. And then she goes and cook for my brother, and she'll fold clothes for my brother because he's the single father and of children with difficulties. So he
Hmm.
needs some help.
Hmm.
And
But now he
oh
maybe
God,
needs to find somebody else to help him.
I have a feeling that we'll be helping each other,
Yeah,
my
we
brother
do
and I.
that as siblings, yes.
Yeah,
And I know you
but
love your nieces and nephews and
oh yeah,
your
I
brothers.
adore them. Yeah, I adore them. So, hey, listen, I haven't seen any questions raised that popped up yet. Um, if you guys have any question, that'd be great.
Somebody
In
asked
the
Cecile, what are
meantime,
you afraid of? So there must be some kind of a question.
actually, it was a discussion between Connie and Cecile where she
Oh,
mentioned that uh, she was who needs to take meds basically to live.
ah,
They're usually often on the meds. That what can I do to help? Okay, that's good. Um, there is one that is. I'm just going to put a star on it. It's about a convoy of trucks.
from JR?
No, that's from me. They're all heading to Ottawa, and soon whoops, come on, Sophie.
Oh, oh.
And soon, I heard that
Let me throw my
some
cat out.
American wants to go, but with Connie, it was about a dreams that she has dreams that come true, and that makes her afraid of it.
Oh, psychic
It's
dreaming. Don't be afraid of psychic dreams.
yeah,
But you can contact me. I do dream analysis. I can help you, and I can give you some great reference books. If I had a community page that I really haven't posted on, I need to type it up and just send it out to people when
yeah,
they ask. Because I have tons of dream analysis books, but I have favorites, and they're really inexpensive. And if you have like a Kindle, you can download them. And when you're searching for the words and the symbols in your dreams, you can actually just type in the word and it'll look it up for you. Go right to the
yeah.
makes it really easy. I'm gonna throw my
Yeah.
cat out because
Yeah, no problem. Cecile, I too have fibromyalgia, but the problem is with my disability. That's what happened this Monday. My disability was based on me having recurring depression, and that was because of my troubles with my. I have bipolar. Um, um, I'm bipolar, and the fact that my diagnosis for mental health has changed. People who have a bipolar trouble, they are generally able to work. So, and I don't know if you've been able to be approved for your fibromyalgia. I'm very scared that I won't be able to get approved because I was told that it's not a recognized.
debilitating enough.
I'm sorry.
I said debilitating enough.
No, it's not debilitating enough. They don't. Many don't recognize that illness, that
Oh my gosh. Because
problem.
I have multiple sclerosis, and one of the symptoms of multiple sclerosis sometimes is
It's
it's almost identical to fibromyalgia. I feel like I'm getting electrocuted, and it runs from my hands across my chest and down my torso and into my legs. And then it sets off my neuropathy because I'm also diabetic. And
yeah.
I literally feel like I'm being shocked. And my husband said, "What do you mean?" I said, "You know how when you hold the battery to your tongue and it buzzes? Now amplify
Hmm.
that by 100 and put it on your body
Yeah,
and your skin." He goes, "Oh my God, that would be awful." I said, "Yeah, and you can't pull the battery away and stop it. It just is constant." And
I
there's
know.
really no medicine for it that really truly works well.
Well, I have Cymbalta, and it helps a little bit, but not that much. So that's the one thing that I'm very worried about for my disability. And that's why I was freaking out on Monday because that was like a bucket of cold ice water being dropped on me. And since then, it's difficult to endure water on my hands. Like right now, I'm mixing the cards and it hurts.
Mhm.
So, yeah. And that happens often. I just don't mention it. But today, I had to complain. I'm sorry, guys. I had to complain.
Yeah.
But I want to say thank you guys for listening and showing up because that that means the world to me. It really does.
Well, I
But
stack when I shuffle. I stack my cards and drop them this way and shuffle
yeah, that's what I
rather than
do.
shuffling like playing cards because I have osteoarthritis and my hands are getting deformed and it
Okay.
hurts to shuffle the cards. Now I do it off camera. I go through and I shuffle all my decks when I'm off camera. It takes me a long time because it's painful. But
Yeah.
then they're ready, and I cleanse my card. I just try to do it all at once, cleanse them, and and I put heating pads and everything else on my hands to help. I exercise them, and I do all kinds of things.
Yeah, because we need to move or else we'll
Well, I
rust.
have to keep mobile. I'm a quilter too, so I'm having a hard time doing fine needlework and stuff now because I'm losing my dexterity, which is also affected by my MS. Because now
Yeah.
my hands open and I just drop things to drop them for good measure. Um,
Yeah. I know.
best thing that happened was keyless remotes on the vehicles because now my new car has I don't have to handle the keys.
Oh,
I get in, I
tell
push
me
the
about it.
button. It's so nice.
Or when it is like -30, I
Start the car and
earlier this week, yeah, I don't have a car starter with this car. Earlier this week and late last week, I was crying coming back from outside. My feet were frozen from a past life. That's a very long story.
I've done
And
that in this life, so
yeah, and my hands, I was going like this, and I'm like, no, okay, relax, let the blood flow. But yeah, see, look, Cecile has multiple health issues. And she mentioned she has fibromyalgia. Took her 12 years to get approved for permanent disability.
yeah, I know in the US when I know US and Canada when it comes to like disabilities and requirements are different, but and I don't know what's available on the Canadian side, but when I applied for Social Security disability, well, I worked in child support services, so I always had cases where people were going out on disability and all this. And I'm
Yeah,
extremely resourceful because that's what I do. I'm that researcher extraordinaire, and very psychic too. So just automatically know where to go to find things. It's weird, but when I was applying for disability, what I did is I went into the federal Social Security regulations, what the workers do when they're reviewing the applications to see if they qualify. And I looked at my medical conditions and all the symptoms of my medical conditions. So when I filled out the application, anything that applied to me, because MS is one of those diseases that it's different for everybody. And you don't
exactly.
have a 100% of the problems. You may have cognitive problems and you may have a drop foot problem or, or spasticity where your legs crumble out from under you, which is one of the things I do. I just collapse to collapse. Why not? And when I fall, I don't realize I'm falling. I collapse so fast I don't get that. Oh, you're falling, catch yourself. I don't get my handstand. I fall in place. And so
Hmm.
whatever's in the way, I hit on the way down. I don't even know to block myself to protect myself because it
Yeah,
happens so fast. It's just a brain malfunction. And anyways, I
yeah.
looked all that up and I made sure my mom helped me do it. And I made sure when I wrote it up, I only applied things that were true to my disease. Then I took my whole application in to my neurologist who did all my diagnosis and was going to be filling out that side of the paperwork because they have to also submit a report. And I had
Hmm.
her review it. And I said, is everything I put on here true? And here, why don't you make a copy for your file so when you're responding,
Hmm.
they've got everything they need to know. I'm
Yeah,
not questioning my application. And if you have something else to add it on your side. I don't need to put it on mine because yours is the official doctor report. I mailed that
yeah,
application and I thought they're going to deny me. I'm 50 years old. They're going to deny me. I had 5 active lesions in my brain at the time. I was having massive what's it called, progressive MS, where my whole system was failing on me. I had lost my ability to walk. When I did regain walking, I couldn't keep my balance. I was falling constantly. I was a shipwreck. Lost my ability to think. I couldn't pull words down to make complete sentences. It was crazy. And
yeah.
it was a week later. I had an appointment to show up for an exam from Social Security doctors. I'm like, oh gosh, here goes. They're going to deny me for sure. I went in, the exam started from the waiting room. As soon as I got up to start walking, they were examining me. How do I walk? What am I acting like? As they just started generally talking to me, how was I talking? Was I making sense? Was I having difficulty? I had no idea that it started from the waiting room. And then I sat down and did a whole battery of, they do a bunch of neurological tests and a bunch of different things. And I got to one part of the test and it was like a puzzle putting these shapes together, making different patterns. And I went, oh, this is an easy, bop, 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 bop. And the guy's like, wow, you had difficulty doing all this other stuff. And this is the puzzle that everybody has problem with. And I said, oh, I know all these patterns. And he goes, why are they so familiar? I said, I'm a quilter. These are standard quilting blocks.
Yeah.
He goes, "Well, I'm glad you told me that." I said, "I quilt all the time. In fact, I pulled my phone up and I said, 'You wanna see some of my quilts?'" You know? And he's like, "Oh, you do
Yeah.
amazing work," and you're right, they're all quilting patterns. They were just
That's true.
familiar to me, and he was glad I'm glad I told him because it was, like, one of the hardest part for people to do is put these puzzle I love puzzles anyway.
Yeah.
Anyways,
You
yeah,
know,
and I was approved 3 weeks from the time I mailed the application till I got my first check. And I've been
okay.
working with these things forever. I just knew for sure because of my age, I was gonna just be denied because of my age, and I'd have to fight it, but and I've
Yeah,
been
I've
off
been
for a
I've been
year.
on disability since I'm 40.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We have a question here from
Oh,
JR. I
sure.
have a family member who needs to take meds basically to live. They're usually off and on the meds. What can I do to help? Will things change for the better without getting worse? I can't really say anything about that because I am not do not do medical
Mhm.
readings, but
I
from
do
a
have a couple things
person,
I can say that could be helpful, though.
well, that's what I was about to say. One of the things that I would like to suggest to you, JR, is to be there for them. And when they say that they're not feeling well, even though it doesn't show, because it never shows, we never, I'm dying here, well, not as badly as I was earlier, but I have pains right now. You're not seeing it,
We
and
hide it.
because you don't see it doesn't mean they're not there. They are there. Those are the kinds of silent illnesses, diseases, or syndrome, or whatever you want to call them, and just be there to listen
Mhm,
and believe them because they are suffering, and
mhm.
tell them that you believe them. It doesn't mean to take pity on them.
'Cause that's not what
Just
they want.
listen.
They don't
No.
that's why they hide their pain so much is you don't want everybody to feel sorry for you and help any.
Or to think that you're lying,
Mhm.
because with fibromyalgia you get that a lot too.
Oh, yeah. You
Mhm.
can't see it, you can't measure it, you can't touch them and feel it, so you don't understand it.
Mm.
It
And that's not the case. So yeah.
and,
What were you about to suggest, Kathy, for
you know,
JR?
if it's on and off again on meds, well, I know what I do with my meds, and I am one of those people that I take so many medications, I have so many prescriptions. I mean, I feel like I'm poisoning myself at times because I've got meds that do this, this, that, and then I take meds to counteract some of the meds, the side effect, and I cut out what I felt wasn't necessary. Then I discussed it with my doctor after I've been off of them. What I do take is my blood pressure medication, my blood thinners, because I have a history of strokes. Of course, my insulin because I'm a juvenile diabetic. Um, and then I take pain meds, but only when I'm in pain. And I prefer if I'm on a prescription that's time release, so I have to take it every day. I actually prefer the one I can take when I'm in pain. And that if I'm not in pain, I don't have to take it. But the one he's got me on right now, I have to take it every single day to control pain. And I just rather just take it when I need it and not take anything if I don't need it because they're opioids.
Right.
And I don't abuse them. And I've been sent to pain management and told by the pain management, your doctor sent me here because you're a drug addict because you take opioids, you've been on it for 15 years. And then they drug test me. And then I say, can I see the results of my drug test? And they refuse to show them to me. And I said, look, they're my medical records and I have a right to see them by law. What are my drug tests showing? And then they have to show me that I don't have enough in my system to be considered an addict because I don't have enough that measures what I'm prescribed because I don't take them if I don't need them. I'm not taking extra. I'm not going out and buying different things on the street to get more. Um, Not everybody goes there. So I can understand the difficulty maybe of them taking, if that's part of the issue of why they don't like to take all their meds all of the time. That makes really good sense, and understand that maybe why they're doing it. We do take what we know we have to keep our heart functioning, to keep our blood sugars under control, to keep our pain managed if we're going on and off them. If it's a problem with a mental disease like schizophrenia or bipolar disorder, that's a whole
You
different
need to take
issue,
it.
because you need to take it, even though
Yeah.
you're stable. And it's very common for people with those disorders, once they get very stable, they feel like they're
Yeah.
doing good. I shouldn't have to take this anymore. And they go off. Then they cycle back in the process. It
I
also
did that for 15
problems with
years.
drugs working.
Yeah.
If you cycle on and off those medications, you become immune to them, and they no longer work for you, and you have to go to a different level of medication. And I didn't know you were
Exactly.
bipolar. I usually
I
pick up
am.
the energy. I don't pick that up with you. You must be really stable, not
I
having a
am
lot,
now.
because I usually pick up bipolar disorder really easily in energy
Okay.
reading. 'Cause I read energy. Not that I try not to tap into people that way, but I just automatically read energy fields. But
Yeah.
so
It-
if that's it, help be supportive. And one of the hardest things is a lot of family members just get exhausted because of the ups and the downs and the back and the forth over long periods of time, and they turn their back on them eventually. Try to be that
Mhm.
one that sticks with them and be supportive. And yeah, you can't pick up all the pieces behind it, but you can support them and give them the strength to help themselves. And real, let me take you to the doctor. Let's go talk to the doctor about your meds. Just be supportive, and be willing to just take that. You don't have to fix them. You don't have to bail them out, but just be supportive and there for them, and not ridicule them. Okay. The other thing is, maybe they forget to take their medications. There are pill dispensing systems out that you can buy now, that, like they use in the hospital, that literally will dispense the certain pills on certain times so that you remember to take your pills timely.
Yeah.
And I've got cognitive problems. I forget. If I start cooking and walk out of
Gut
the
brain
kitchen,
fog. Yeah.
if I don't turn an alarm on to remind me to check my stove in 5 minutes, everything will burn up and burn over on the stove. My husband will come out. What are you burning? I'm like, oh shoot, I'm cooking. I forgot. I'm infamous for that. So my
Yeah.
iWatch, my phone, I set timers on both of them. I like the iWatch because it vibrates on my wrist, and I'm like, why is that vibrating? I look at it and I go, oh yeah, I'm cooking. you know,
Yeah.
it just that vibration. It doesn't even have to tell me why it's on there. It reminds me. It's like tying a string on your finger. It reminds me. So there are little
Exactly.
things we can learn to do to compensate, and you can help them come up with these ideas that can work for them in support. But like
Yeah.
both Sophie and I will say, the best advice is always seek professional advice for medical treatments and ways to do things and options. There's resources out there that can help you with caregiving, help you really, if you're a caregiver, it's really important to do self-care. There are organizations that will come in and watch your loved one for a couple hours while you get a break, because you can't carry the load 100% of the time. If you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of others. And that's so important. And they do have organizations that do, maybe they come in and work a whole day and give you a whole day off. Sometimes they can just come in and for a few hours. A break is a break, you know.
Yeah.
But, reach out to those resources, talk to the doctors. They will connect you with, um, and as Sophie knows, probably working with her mom. I know when my mom had cancer, we sat down with a counselor that went not only through the treatment options, but the financial awesomes and the resources available, both under my mom's insurance as well as community resources. It
Right.
a tremendous help.
Hmm.
And there are
Yeah.
even people that can help you fill out the paperwork if you're not good at doing that. There's all kinds of services out there, and a lot of them are free or very inexpensive. You know,
Yeah.
know that those
The
resources
thing
are out
is,
there. All you need to do is ask. Somebody will have
yeah.
a resource for you.
And the dispel that I'm using, the system I'm using is a dispel an old-fashioned dispel, not the envelope one, because I got mixed up with those. Most people are doing well with them. Me, I got it. They didn't work out. I
Oh, where
forgot.
they put the all the certain dosages in a
Yeah,
individual. Yeah. This is a
yeah, I forgot
machine that
them.
you actually program and it drops
Oh,
it
I did
literally.
not know that. I did
Yeah,
not
it's
know that they
pretty new on the
existed.
market, and insurances do cover them. And what they're made is for elderly people that forget to take their meds or decide that they just take everything all at once,
Mm-hmm.
and they're ODing themselves because, well, I'm supposed to take these 3 times a day, so I'll take 3 of these, and just take them all now, Meds don't work like
Yeah, it doesn't
you
work like
know?
that.
I had a
So I
friend whose
got,
father did that, and she couldn't figure out why he was lethargic half the day. And then she watched him take his meds when she's going, Dad, what are you taking? He's got this great big handful of pills. And he was taking his entire dosage at once for the entire day.
yeah, I did that. I did that.
Oh,
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah. Scary
yeah,
when you think about it.
yeah. Well, because I have brain fog as well from time to time,
Oh, yeah.
so I forget. Now it's the old-fashioned dispill that is made by the pharmacist that I use, and it works very well. Now, JR had a question for me. What's the
Sure.
worst of your bipolar has gotten? Well, I did the on and off and off and on again, taking the pill thing in the 90s, and that screwed my brain completely. I got to a point where I used a knife. Was a butter knife.
Ow.
What do you think happened? Nothing. So,
Obviously, it was a cry for help, not a actual.
yeah, in the emergency room of the hospital. Yeah,
Was it one of
that
those
was the
really
most.
good plastic ones to boot? No.
Uh, no, no, not this. No, I think it would have done more damage than that one. That's how bad
Yeah.
the knife was.
Yeah, I'm thinking one of those really flat edge, no ridges, metal
Yeah,
bladed
it,
knives. That would be.
yeah. So my low got to a point where I almost got to a I was doing nothing. Um,
You
I
paralyzed.
couldn't
You paralyzed yourself.
absolutely, completely, totally. And then my parents helped me move back to Quebec City where there was better health care for mental health. And then I eventually got to a point where I had to be hospitalized, and that's when my journey with electroconvulsion therapy, like the electroshock, began. And to be honest with you, however difficult it was, because they had to go with the long waves, the short waves didn't work for me for some reason, so they had to go with the long waves.
Do you have a
And I
very
had,
high pain threshold?
oh, you're out. And when we talk long waves, it's not even a second, and you're completely out, and so you don't feel anything. And I
Oh,
would go
it's not the
in
old
like,
school like back in the 50s where you were wide awake and they just put something between your teeth and boom.
no, 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 no,
It's
no.
humane now.
It's humane. They put you to sleep. You feel
That's good.
nothing.
I am so glad because I was like feeling so sorry for you. Oh my. Glad
Yeah,
they do it humanely now. Some of
I
the
had
bizarre medical treatments
56.
over the years. Wow.
Yeah, I had 56 of those. And to be honest with you, don't feel sorry for me, Cecile, because I think it was a lifesaver. It really was. So I had 56 of them over 3 years. And then I was stabilized when they got me on the first mood stabilizer. Not totally, but completely. And then I went crazy and I spent all my RSPs, which is like your 4K41, your 401k in the US, spent all my RSPs on oh, hi Sharon. So yeah, I spent all my RSPs within a month
Thanks for
on
hearing me.
deciding that I was going to renovate an apartment that did not need renovation. I bought all the material and oh my God, you know, all my pension went there.
You just needed a good art project.
Exactly. So, I had highs and lows and high and lows. Hi, Teresa Baltazar. Hey, thank you for joining. I needed you guys. And so that was that was a high point. There had been many where I needed to change the brakes on my car. I went and bought another car. God.
Resolve that problem.
Some of it, we have to be honest though, some of it, there's a little personality disorder there, you know, but
Honestly, Sophie, my feeling about the car was you probably needed the new car.
yeah, the brakes were going down. And then I totaled that car. Yeah. Oops. So yeah, there was some highs and lows, but I'm bipolar 2. I'm not bipolar 1. So it's a lesser degree, but the highs and the lows are not as high or not as low. Those I would consider spending all your retirement money on quite a high, and but they last a little longer. But now I got uh,
I think
after my
part of
I'm
the biggest
sorry.
trick part of the biggest trick is finding the right medications that work for you.
Yeah.
And it's so
Oh,
hit and miss. There's no like take a blood
I
test
got
and this is gonna be the right
yeah.
one.
I went on lithium and it helped until I started having hallucinations. And I kept going to see a doctor and I kept telling them, hey, something is wrong here. I know I'm psychic, but I don't see dead people. There are, I see shadows on the side and I hear voices on the side, and I know that's not because I'm psychic.
Yeah, this
Those,
isn't part of my abilities. Yeah.
no. Well, I didn't talk to them about being psychic because then they would have really. And
Oh, schizophrenia.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Their voices.
finally, a doctor listened to me and checked my lithium level and figured out that I was poisoning myself with lithium. And she said another 2 weeks and we'd been dead.
Yeah, and you're lucky you don't drink because that's usually the lethal mix that people on lithium get in is mixing alcohol with them,
Yeah,
and that's a scary
I
thing.
did.
One of the guys that worked with my husband drank heavily, and they put him on lithium regularly, and I don't know why they did it because they knew he was an alcoholic,
Well, I
and
tried. Yeah,
it was scary. It's,
yeah,
and it really triggered the hallucinations.
yeah. Well, he wasn't reacting well to lithium.
No,
There's a newer drug now called Epivo. That's what I'm on now, and so far it's working wonders.
oh
My
great.
mood has stabilized like never before. I can't remember having as stable as I am now. I think the last time I was like that I must have been about 22, 23.
About the
So
time you started having difficulties with it, but right before then, because it
yeah,
doesn't it usually onset in your early 20s
yeah, mid
most
early
of the
to mid
time.
20s, yeah. And
But
that's when my
university
mood,
level, everybody I know that's had problems with bipolar disorder, and I've 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 had a very dear friend onset with schizophrenia at 23, and he was in the middle of doing special forces training for the Marines when it kicked in, and he went on a tailspin, and I mean they had him in a straight jacket, taking him into medevac, and when they diagnosed him, and he was actually released on a medical disability. I mean, it was covered under his military action. Thank God for him, because it's really saved his life and his ability to get treatment and stuff. But sad when it kicked in, it just was so crazy. And bright man, and just
yeah,
and usually they are exceptionally bright people that have bipolar disorder. It's
they say that,
and
yeah.
that makes it even harder, because you've got these great minds, or hard workers, or exceptional mindset, and then it goes out of hand until you can get that stabilization. I can feel your energy. I didn't even pick up on it. And you and I didn't.
No,
I knew you had fibromyalgia, but I didn't know that you were having other problems. I never
yeah,
picked up on it, but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it was
I worked very hard. Uh, you know, I got oh man, a lot of I can't talk anymore. Sorry. A lot of psychological treatments and therapies and things like that. And I continue to do that from time to time. I was thinking of doing hypnotherapy, not hypnosis for tricks and things like that, but just to help uncover past
to see if
issues
you
that
have
might are
issues that you could
still
release.
blocking you.
Yeah,
But yeah, hi Dean.
and you get a really good hypnotherapist, and they can do wonders if they're really well trained. I know I watch Alma Weinman. And one of the
Mm-hmm.
things she does with her interpersonal hypnotherapy is having you go through and body scan and release things that have attached from past lives and stuff, and working through releasing those energies. Absolutely amazing
Yeah,
work that she does, and she's very talented. And there are a lot of hypnotherapists that are well trained that do HTTQ and interpersonal um, hypnotherapy, that are very skilled in helping you go through that process. And it's an amazing if you can find a really good therapist.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to do as long as I have my insurance. But I'll be able to afford it. If I don't have them, then I won't be able to eat.
Well, I'll tell
So I'll
you.
focus on, I'll keep them. I have a question though, if that's okay with you guys, because there's
Sure.
something going on in Canada apparently. There are a convoy of truckers going from the east towards Ottawa, and from the west towards Ottawa, and they are going there in protest to um, um, all the um, regulations and mandate on COVID. And I believe that I've heard that some may even come from the US to protest in Canada. apparently, I haven't seen anything on the news. So, for my Canadian friends, if you know anything or if I make a mistake, please correct me. But they are going to protest until Trudeau lifts all the COVID stuff. And apparently, Trudeau is nowhere to be found because he's under quarantine.
Maybe he's
So,
visiting. Maybe he's visiting DeSantis in Florida.
while he's telling,
They're at Mar-a-Lago. I'm sorry.
yeah, who knows? Who knows? Hey, listen to that strawberry rhubarb, Sharon. She went to see a professional hypnotist for giving birth. It worked like a hot damn. Had super easy birth. First one, 1 hour, 12 minutes.
Oh God,
The
where was
other
that one
one,
in
two
um
hours.
was that Sharon Lee or Sharon Sipe?
Sharon Lee, strawberry rhubarb.
Wow.
I agree with you, Cecile.
Sharon, you should come on with us. You want us to send you a link?
Hey, do you want to come?
I love
We'll
Sharon.
do some Canadian readings for once, Canadian political readings for
Yeah, I
once.
love
Where?
doing blind reading. Sharon knows that. My feeling about the trekkers is I think their their demands are reasonable. They don't want to be so restricted. They're being forced to do a job with so many restrictions that doesn't allow them to do the work. And I think they're right there, but they also need the protections in place so that when they are making the deliveries and stuff, they're safe, which is their other concern. Um, you know, so
Yeah,
and really all they want to do is they want to make sure that those supply chains are moving. They realize everybody needs these supplies. Problem we're having in the United States too is getting the boats unloaded to get the merchandise out to the people that need it. Um, I feel like they will get a lot of their demands met. Probably not 100% of them, but there's going to have to be give and take to allow the trekkers to be able to do their jobs within reason. They're not
yeah,
asking for special this and that. I don't think there are a group of trekkers that are going, no vaccines, no masks, we can do whatever we want. I think they're asking for reasonable protections. They're willing to get the vaccines if they're required to. They don't want to kill themselves in the process of delivering the goods, but they want to be able to safely go from point A to point B under reasonable restrictions. They need to be able to stop and eat, stop and rest, stop and you know and do what they need to perform their jobs with a reasonable flow. I
mm-hmm,
honestly don't think that, and I don't know what their demands are. I've not read on anything on that, but my gut feeling is they're not being unreasonable, and that the government is going to have to step in and hear them out and negotiate reasonable allowances of their demands so
mm-hmm.
they can do their jobs. And
Okay.
yeah, I'm sure the American truckers are they're also fighting for the same issues. So they do have
Yeah,
deliveries. They have reasonable work hours. They're not restricted so much that they can't meet the demands of their employers to meet their obligations. They're not so restricted that they can't make money doing it because it costs money to run shorter runs and deadhead and not go,
yeah.
you know, it's
Um,
expensive business.
yeah. I've put the StreamYard link in the comments in the chat. I'll remove it once we have all the people. I just can't find anything on Facebook and Messenger because I'm not used to
Oh,
it.
I can actually forward it right to her.
Okay. It's already there though. Dean would like to join as well, so we're going to have a party, guys.
Oh, yay. All the people.
Dean is already here. Hi, Dean. We
Hey.
got Dean. Apparently, there are many other convoys happening in other countries as a result of the Canadian convoy. Oh my God, the Canadians are going crazy. We're protesting. You never do that.
There you go, Sharon.
Cecile said, I've joined, but I haven't got my front tooth in.
Don't worry. We're not even going to talk about my teeth. I try not to smile too much, but I've had so many problems with pancreatitis that I've lost most of my teeth, and I haven't had the money to go in because our insurance doesn't cover dental very well. And even with the dental coverage I have, we're talking thousands of dollars to just
Yeah,
take
to
care of
get
it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm getting,
I'm
oh,
looking
that's
at like
another
4 or
thing that,
5 grand, and I
yeah,
don't know about you, but
we don't have,
right
it's
time
the
my
same for
prescription
us.
drugs out of my Social Security check, and that disappears. My retirement covers my house payment, food, and I don't have any
Yeah.
extra $5,000 to buy.
No, I'm getting another, that's another thing that happened this weekend. I'm gonna lose a tooth,
Yeah,
a baby tooth that I can't really say anything. Sharon Lee, did you get the message? Did you send it to Sharon Lee in
I sent it
Messenger,
to
Dean?
her messenger.
You did?
Yeah, I
Okay.
just copied mine and sent it to her. She should be able to tie in on it. That's what Dean
Anybody
had
else
asked
would
me.
like to join us? We'll have more people in this on the screen than in the chat.
We're
Let's have
having
a
a
party,
coffee
guys.
talk night, Dean, rather than we're not getting any questions or just real simple general questions.
Yeah?
I can't
Anything.
believe we don't have any major questions, personal questions or anything, but that's okay. That means everybody's life is stable and good.
So, what's the game plan for tonight? Are you doing the Wheel of Fortune again?
Not tonight. No, I said that I would have a wheel of fortune, a fortune telling. We haven't told fortune at all for anyone yet. We've
Oh,
been on for almost an hour and a half. But no, we haven't done that. But we could if I find it amongst the debris of my office
like
because I
what's
destroyed.
something interesting that's going on right now we should read on?
Well,
Anything
I'm
new?
seriously I'm puzzled by that convoy because
I just got
Canadians are very mild people. We're the nice ones, but we're now rising up and we're looking for Trudeau. Where is Trudeau?
What did he do?
Well, he just disappeared. He's nowhere to be found. He's on in quarantine, but right now there is a convoy of I don't know how many thousand of um, of truck drivers. They're all driving towards Ottawa and to protest all of the COVID restrictions that we are having, and we have a lot. And they also are going to protest until they get what they want, which is, get rid of all those COVID restrictions like they do in all other countries. And because we have the vaccine passports, we can't even go shopping in a store now unless we have the vaccine passport. And
So the trucker should have an exempt on the passport. The truck driving license should be their passport. Whatever they're required in the medical requirements, if it's vaccine and blah blah blah, and they should be able to go from region to region to region if that's what they're required to deliver. They shouldn't
Right.
be only you can deliver in BC, and you can't cross over into Ottawa, or you can't, I'm feeling like that. Maybe that's part of the restrictions, is just from going from state to state to state is not possible for them, and it's
This may
causing.
sound weird, but I'm trying to connect with Troubadour's
Oh,
energy, and I'm hearing help.
Trudeau?
Mar-a-Lago.
Trudeau,
You mean
yeah,
Trudeau?
yeah.
Oh,
Trying to
Sharon
connect with
is
him.
on, and I've been ignoring her. I do apologize.
I'm trying to
Sorry,
connect with his
Sharon.
energy, and I keep hearing. I'm looking at a picture of him, and I'm hearing help, help, help. He's saying help, but I don't understand.
Trudeau.
Trudeau. I'm trying to pick up on his energy, and I
Is
looked
it
up.
help
I
because
asked
he's sick, or
my
is it help because
my
he just
I
needs
asked
help?
Jimmy if it was okay to try to pick up on his energy, and he said, "Sure, why not?" But I looked at his picture. I'm trying to fixate on just his energy, see what I could pull off, and I'm hearing help. Let's see, what am I getting? Trudeau, talk to me.
I'm feeling like he's pretty sick with COVID. He's not having an easy time.
I wonder if he's going to be forced to resign.
I'm not
I
feeling
think
good.
so.
Why?
I'm not
Here's
feeling that.
Why? I don't.
the
What,
center
over
I'm
the
reading. I
truckers'
got
convoy?
justice. I'm getting justice on him. Like,
Huh.
is he being like called into question? Like, is he able to do his job? Is he able to continue with the under the constraints he's under on? Right now, I feel like there's a lot of pressure for him to make things bright and sunny and cheery while he's still feeling like chained up or burdened either with illness, sickness, or commitments that he can't do, restricted. I feel like he's gonna end up having to try to make appearances where he can, but this gets like that false sense of being able to do those whatever commitments or that he still are obligations he has to do because everybody is showering around him to make him look as good as possible. But that's not the complete truth. Like there's something he's hiding or something that he can't. Either he's not well enough to do. I don't. There's something weird about this.
That's what I'm hearing.
He's
He's sicker than they're letting on to be.
Yeah, and then I had the Three of Swords, so there's some regret here. And with the Page of Swords, I feel like he's trying to fight off whatever he's being faced with. But I don't foresee him being successful with this because right underneath the Page of Swords, I also have the Five of Pentacles. So I don't know if the people that are in his party or his group of people, colleagues, I don't know how it runs in Canada, but I feel like they're going to ask him to step down, and I don't
yeah,
think they're
that's
going
how
to
it works.
I don't think they're going to give him a second thought. And again, with the Wheel of Fortune, it's his time's out, ran out.
I'm not very surprised though. Are you, Sharon?
See, I'm not getting he's being forced out.
Sharon, we can't hear you.
Sorry. I said I've got the moon. I asked, is he really sick with COVID? And I've got the moon card, so I think he's sicker than they're letting on. And I have the Five of Wands. Yeah, there could be some infighting about whether he should not step down permanently, but maybe he's that sick that maybe someone needs to step in, like the deputy prime minister. I also have Judgment, the Page of Wands, but I think that's more to do with his health. And then I've got the Ace of Swords. I think it'll come out. I think the truth will come out about his health, but I'm not getting that he's going to be asked to step down. I mean, I just read on COVID, so hey, I'll try reading on if he's being asked to. Will he be asked
While
to step
you're-
down as prime minister? Like, you mean? Yeah.
While you're moving on to the next portion of your reading, can I go, Sharon? Because I posed 3 questions.
Yeah.
The first question I posed is what is because of his COVID, what is his mindset right now? What is he doing? What is he looking for? My underlying card in the deck was the Justice card, but that doesn't mean persecution. My head says justice. He's trying to do the just thing. Okay. What I got on that question was he's working hard, even though he's sick. He's trying to come up with a plan, and he's looking for his ships to come in, that help to come in to find a resolution for this. And that also means reaching out to his the other leaders, his whatever his vice president or whatever the positions are in Canada, because I'm not familiar with Parliament.
Prime Minister.
The Prime Minister, the Assistant Prime Minister, whatever. He's reaching out to his support team to help him come up with a resolution. He's trying to, regardless of how ill he is, he's trying to step in as that King of Wands so they can address these issues and move forward. And I get the Ace of Pentacles. He will be successful in getting this done. He is getting backlash from this. People think he's just giving very little of himself. He's giving penance, that 6 of coins. He could be doing more, and he's not. He's trying to rise to higher ground despite this and still hold on to his position, his reputation, all that. In regards to, does he have COVID? Yes, he's extremely ill with the 10 of Swords, followed by the 9 of Swords. They're not disclosing how ill he is, but he will survive it, and he will get through it. But it's going to be a tough battle, and he's got a lot of worry on it. It's feeling like he's getting a lot of lung impact. He's having problem breathing. He's got pneumonia, and he's exhausted. He's weak, and they can't find him. He's not making those public appearances because he really is that sick.
I feel like he's bedridden.
Going up to the mic and even trying to make a simple statement. He's too sick to. And he may be hospitalized, or it may have been brought into him for treatment, like our president. Have a medical team that's available. So I'm getting that. I don't see compromise in his position, but he's trying to get the strength around to get it taken care of. And he's relying on his team to do it. So.
Do you want to finish, Sharon? Or do you want me to go ahead?
Well, I asked the question, does he... well, I'll just answer one more question, and then I have a third question, but I'll do that after you. My second question was, will he hand over the reins, like temporarily, to someone else, like the Deputy Prime Minister? And I've got the King of Coins, King of Pentacles, and the 10 of Pentacles. I feel like, there's some really important things that need attention. These truckers, also the Ukraine situation. And I feel, yes, he will ask for help, that he will make some kind of deal, deal that someone can help him out. You know, his deputy. She's quite competent. I've got the Chariot that will go ahead. Yes, the Swords comes up again, and because right now he's, you know, he can't be the ruler right now, the King of Swords. His head's not clear enough. So I feel yes, and of course the breathing problem. So I feel yes, he might have to give it over to the deputy prime minister,
Yeah.
because there's lots of really some really key things happening right now, like the Ukraine and so on.
Yeah.
It's crazy, as you said, that I posed your exact questions, and I got exactly the same cards. I mean, and I was sitting here shuffling the Eight of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles, the Three of Wands. Yeah, he's working towards getting that assistant prime minister, whatever the position is, to do it. And the only different
Deputy.
card I got was the Hierophant. He's willing to give her the power in that position to take care of these. So yeah.
Yep.
That's funny though. It's showing he's doing what he can, but I'm feeling like that.
Yeah.
He's so compromised that he knows he has to reach out. He has no choice.
I don't even think he's in
Yeah.
his right mind right now. I feel like
No, I don't think so.
he-
That's what I feel.
No,
Yeah.
he's
That's why I
bedridden
got the
and
King
he's
of
kind of in and
Swords.
out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the King of Swords is not of his right mind.
He's struggling from pneumonia
Okay, Sophie.
terribly.
Yeah. Okay. I have the
Sorry.
Two of Swords,
Sophie,
the
you
Two
wanted
of
to go
Wands
ahead.
here. Yeah. I have the Two of Wands here. Was asking about whether or not he has COVID and how that impacts the running of the country. He does have COVID, and the party is kind of juggling which way to go here. Where do we go from here? And then the Empress, I feel that's Krista
Yeah.
Freeland. I
Freeland.
can't say her name. Freeland, yeah, that is going to
Yeah,
step
Christine
in.
Freeland. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's going to basically the fact that she's going to step in, some things are going to be handled, and that's going to bring the party at a crossroad, I think. But at the same time, when you mentioned the lungs, and I looked at the Two of Swords, I thought both lungs are attacked, and I see the sand here, and it's like the bronchioles. So it's more like it's not only pneumonia. I think it's a bronchitis and pneumonia that he has. He has both. He's really, really sick.
He's
Now,
very congested. I'm feeling all this lung pressure.
yeah,
Hard to breathe.
yeah. So this is bringing the country. This is going to bring the country here at a especially the Liberal Party at in a situation where they're going to rethink things. How are we going to run the government from here on out? So, and I feel that they're looking for their way on how to handle this. They might not have a choice but to push him out somehow. I think that he is going to be asked to leave. But not only that, I think his health is going to push him to leave. Um, and basically with that Four of Cups, I think that it's Trudeau. Basically, Trudeau is here thinking things through as to what he should be doing, and then looking for what he's going to do next. Now,
Is he vaccinated? Is that something he's made public or not?
he says that he is. He's fully vaccinated. You're on mute, Sharon.
He can't get that sick though. He may have compromising health problems that have
He might
undermined.
very well have. Yeah. Sharon, you're on mute. You're on mute, Sharon.
Sorry. Thanks. Yeah, I think I got the energy of the ring, the Four of Cups as well. He's going to have to think about this. Krista Freeland here's the Queen of Pentacles. She's going to handle things just fine. And I think the party's going to look at her as a real winner. And Trudeau, he's worried about this, but he does. I mean, he likes that she's doing a good job, but he's worried about it. And then the Hierophant, that might be the party looking at, gee, we like
Bye-bye.
Krista's style.
My last throw, I
Yeah,
got that
and
high
then
point too.
I've got the Ace of Pentacles, maybe due to his health issues, and because he's quite confused. I mean, here's the Seven of Cups. So yeah, they may, but will they actually do it? I don't know, but I think she's going to do a really good job. She's going to be a really good stand-in. She's very capable.
Yeah, when I look
I
at
mean,
the back of, she has a good head. Yeah. Because when I look at the back of the pack on my reading, I get the Hanged One and the Judgment. Maybe he's going to self-sacrifice because he may be, which is something that is strange for him, but we do have our prejudices in Quebec about him. Sorry.
It's funny you said that, the self-sacrifice.
Yes, I
because
know.
I said,
I know.
what is he going to, I asked a question about him too, like, how will he handle this mentally, having to either step down or resign?
Yeah.
And I got the Ten of Swords. Kind of like betrayed, but not betrayed. Like, he knows, it's like he knows his health is more important right now and he can't really change anything. But he just, I guess he feels like betrayed.
No.
And because
I don't think it's betrayal. I think he knows how sick he is. That's his worry about where he's standing is more than a betrayal.
He knows.
Yeah.
I feel like he still feels like there's still something left for him to offer. But he's put in the middle of a crossroads.
His marriage is also taking a beating too.
Yeah.
Which that's where I'm getting, it's like, but his relationships with his family are going to improve if this does come to pass, him stepping down. It's something that he's going to be fighting for, those relationships. And ultimately, I think it's a good thing because I do have the Star. It's something he really wants, and he wishes everybody well on that. But this is something he needs to work towards, resolving the conflicts, the in-house conflicts with him and his family.
It's funny because I asked my guides to connect with his mental process. I asked if I could receive what his mindset is on what he's thinking in this process. And I got a yes. And then what I heard from him is, I am very, very sick, and he's struggling, and he's aware of that. He is not standing in the fear of losing his position. He knows that's going to happen. If his health is that compromised, he's going to have to relinquish that power, at least temporarily. And that frightens him because it could compromise his positioning. That's not his biggest worry, though. He's not like Trump, fearing that if I step down, they're going to, if I even hold over the reins temporarily, she's going to take over and it's never going back. His head doesn't go that far. He's not so self-centered that he's not afraid to do the right thing for the people, because he knows that has to be taken care of. So, but then I threw a few cards saying, well, how is she going to be received? She's going to get the victory. What she's going to get out of this is the recognition that she can handle the power and step up to the plate in crisis.
Right.
It's the Chariot card. The party is going to support her, and eventually she will be celebrated. So if he doesn't completely step out on his own the next time the election comes, if she goes up for his position, she will be recognized and she'll take that leap of faith. And I think she will actually be successful in her bid for the prime minister position. And this is her opportunity to shine. and he fears that a bit, but he knows it's the right thing to do for the people too. So
Right.
if his health is compromised, he cannot stand up to the plate. He will lay down the gauntlet to her. He would like not to have to. He would like to just instantly recover and get over it. He will recover. He's going to have compromises, though.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they're hiding is he's more compromised than they're telling.
She
And of course, they're
is
not gonna get out
a
and say,
smart
"Yeah, he's on a
cookie. She's
respirator," you know. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Kim.
yeah, she's a smart cookie. She completed her bachelor's
Oh, yeah.
degree at Harvard University studying Russian history and literature
Wow.
before earning a master's degree in Slavonic studies from Oxford University. Like she's a Rhodes Scholar. She
Yeah.
began her career in journalism, working for Financial Times, the Globe and Mail, and Reuters, and became managing director of Reuters. Boy, yeah,
Good
she
background.
is
Very
very,
Yeah.
very smart.
Absolutely.
And she was our minister. She was our minister of international trade. I know she was doing negotiations with the states over steel and stuff like that. And yeah, it was awful with Trump, but she was holding her own. And then she became the minister of intergovernmental affairs. So that's talking about like with the provinces and stuff like that. And then she was made
Yeah.
finance minister. So she's finance minister and the deputy prime minister. She's a smart cookie.
And you know what? What a better time for her to step in when we're getting ready to,
Yeah,
with that NATO's dealing with
exactly.
NATO, the United States, Canada are dealing with issues with Putin. She's got a hell
Yeah,
of a
with
background
Putin.
to understand that process.
Exactly.
It's going to,
Exactly.
I mean, if you got to take the torch and shine, this is her moment. Not only
Mm-hmm.
with domestic issues, but with international issues, she will shine.
Yeah.
And she's got
Yeah.
the background to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be in
You
good
know,
hands if Trudeau has to step
doors
down for a
open for
while.
reasons.
I'm not. I mean, I was not a huge fan. I mean, I don't dislike him. He's done a lot of mistakes when he went against when he's trying to do some underhanded things with a big corporation here. Lavalin, you remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Lavalin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That was bad.
and yeah, it was bad because his justice minister disagreed with them that they were going to bring some legal proceedings against that big company, and he tried
Mm-hmm.
he tried to talk her out of it, and she wouldn't be talked out of it. She was too principled, and she ended up being booted from the cabinet, and then she left the Liberal
Yes.
Party and became an independent. Yeah, and also another minister did the same thing in solidarity with Judy Wilson-Raybould.
Mm-hmm.
That was Joyce Philpott, Dr. Philpott, and she left the cabinet. So it was. I think there was a third woman too, but it was not a good thing, and he lost my respect when he did that. But on the other hand, sure wouldn't want it to go to the conservatives that have the little munchkin. It was an Aaron O'Toole.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Canadian
want it to go to
politics are
him.
just so much
Yeah,
cleaner than
and
US
the
politics. So
NDP. I don't know the NDP. I'm not sure about. I can't remember his name. He's popular, but I don't know if he's really mature enough yet to handle being prime minister.
Which one is that?
Oh, I can't remember his name. I'll look it up. Hold on, rather than guess here. I know him really well. I've just gone blank here. Okay, leader of NDP. Yeah, Jagmeet Singh.
Yeah.
Jagmeet Singh. Yeah, I don't
Jag.
think he's ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jag. I don't think he's
No,
ready
but
to
he
be prime
has
minister.
potential, though.
He
He
does
has
definitely. I just don't
potential.
think he's ready yet. He certainly does.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's ready yet.
Yeah.
But
He's up and
yeah,
coming in the future.
yeah. But
Yeah.
boy, I think yeah, I certainly don't think. I mean, Trudeau didn't. He didn't win any ground. He called that election again, and he didn't get any better results. We still had a minority government.
Yeah. That was not his smartest move, that's
No,
for sure.
no,
That was
no,
really
and I don't think he could pull it off a third time. So I think his
no,
time
he
is
would
limited.
not.
Could learn a lot from the Canadian uh, voting system, just on the amount of time
Oh,
you're
I like
allowed
it
to
so much. But
campaign, the donations,
your
and this
system is so
this
convoluted.
5 years of campaigning before you run again. As soon as you walk into office, like Trump did in his presidency, he spent more time campaigning for his next office rather than doing the work he was elected to do.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
Hmm.
just
I mean, sure,
sickening.
they're doing some they're doing some campaigning where they're going to fundraising dinners and stuff like that. But it's not
Well,
like in
that's
the
one
States.
thing, but it's
They're
not
not
every
No.
constantly
constituent.
electioneering.
Yeah, we're
No.
not
It
we're not
talks
Yeah.
doing it
And the
on the
thing is,
taxpayer's dollar.
so what happens is there's actually if there's a vote of no confidence, like a bill doesn't pass, there'll be a vote of no confidence, right? And if that goes through, then an election has
is
to be
called.
called, or the
Hmm.
prime
So the
minister
people
could call it.
choose, right? So the people didn't decide,
Yes,
right?
the people's representatives choose. Yes, that if
Okay.
they don't have any confidence in him, or like a bill he's trying to pass, that sort of thing, then
Well, there's the
they'll call
problem
a
in
vote
the
of no
U.S. Our
confidence.
representatives
And
are.
excuse me, Kathleen. Excuse me, Kathleen. So there's a vote of no confidence, and there has to be an election. Um, and also, whoever's in the office, he or she can decide to call an election. But it used to be just like provincially, you'd have 30-day campaigns. That's it. Provincially
Oh, wouldn't
was
that be like?
60 days. However, it has changed with Harper. It was changed to like 90 days for federal. See, we're not going on constantly. Yep,
No, we're not.
you do your campaigning, and then you vote. It's so much more sane. Also, Trudeau's there in the parliament. There's the Liberals, all the parties that have seats. The Liberals, the Conservatives, the NDP, the Bloc,
Québécois.
and the Green Party. Yeah, Bloc Québécois, the Green Party, and they're all there debating. So there's question period, and they're debating each other. I mean,
They
Trudeau's right
have
there
to
in the
be
debate.
there. Yeah.
Virtually come to an
They have
end
to
in the
be there.
United
Yeah, they
States,
have
the
to be there.
debate.
Whereas you can
Yeah.
imagine Trump. Yeah, no, he wouldn't been able to handle that kind of thing. So I really like our
Oh,
system,
heavens
which is
no.
based on the British system. So
Hmm.
it's just much more sane. I think you also have limits on how much how much money you can donate as well, and how much
Campaign
corporations can donate.
donations.
So
Yeah, there's not these
yeah, and
multi-million
corporate
dollar.
donations.
Yeah,
No,
they're not
yeah.
buying
So
the candidates up front. Yeah.
I'm not
No.
I'm not saying it's perfect. Sure, there's corruption. I'm
No, it's
sure,
not.
Oh, there's
but
Oh
corruption in
yeah.
yeah,
all
there's
politics.
corruption. I mean, come on, it's power. But it's not as crazy what you guys go through. And
It's
also,
dirty.
politics is a religion. Politics isn't a religion in the United States. Whereas here, if you're conservative or NDP or whatever, you don't get into fistfights about it. We don't drop a friendship because they're in voted differently. It's just not like that here.
Well, we used to not.
It's
That's a Trumpodian thing. But in the United States, one of
no,
the things, we no longer negotiate. We do not debate and negotiate. We have our Republican Party's platform now is to oppose whatever the other party's doing.
Yeah.
Without
Mhm.
consideration.
I mean, we
They
have
won't
that
even
here
say-
too.
They won't even say, "Oh, well, we want this, and that." And then they come back, that negotiation has stopped. All or nothing.
Exactly.
You know,
It
no
stopped with
discussion.
Gingrich, really. It stopped with Gingrich. Finally
Yes.
stopped with Gingrich.
Yeah,
It was
that's right.
deteriorating with Reagan, Nixon, then Reagan.
It's
It
just gotten
stopped with
worse
Gingrich.
and worse to where now they just no. Sorry, no, we won't have it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No explanation
exactly.
why.
Yeah, we have some of that for sure, but the conservatives and so on. But
And I've started
but
dreaming,
just not to
okay,
a degree.
they propose it, they deny it. Okay, it's time to set it to a public vote. If our representatives cannot represent us properly, when the states are going, no, but we want it, and the representatives are not listening to their constituents, then it's time to put it on a ballot and let the people vote.
So I have a question then. Will debate in the Republic oh man, brain fog. I'm sorry, not the Republican in the Senate and debate in with the Congress. Are those going to start again? Are we going to see debate on the floor again, or we're just going to see empty floors? So why don't we look at that?
Well, the Congress and the Senate don't debate each other. The
No,
Congress,
no, but
the Congress
debates within Congress
votes
and debate within Senate.
and it goes to the other house. And it's the parties
Yeah,
in the Senate.
Yeah, she gets
The
that, Kathy.
Democrats
She's
versus
got that.
yeah,
Kathy.
no, I understand that. I understand that. But what I'm wondering is
will it ever happen
the
again?
debate within Congress happen again? Or are we going to see a congressman show up at a mic on an empty floor just to say what he wants to say and no one else is there to listen and then to reply to him?
That would be
Are
our
we going to
Senate
see
that
those
does
things
that.
again?
Yeah, that's
I'm
the Senate.
sorry?
That's the Senate that's doing that, not the Congress. The
Well,
Senate is doing
but
that. One guy's
nobody's doing
standing up
that
there
right now.
with an empty room, just talking on a mic.
Yeah, but the Congress does as well. So are we going to see that? Let's start with the Senate. Is the Senate going to begin debating on the floor towards building for the common good of the
And not
people?
reading The Cat in the Hat. That, I mean, how embarrassing is that for a country, right?
It is. Now there was the Lady M&M candy, and now it's Minnie Mouse wearing pants. So is the
Crazy.
Senate going to?
So,
Okay. I can go first.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I've got the death card, and I believe there will be a new beginning towards what it used to be like. This is nostalgia card. The debate used to be like, and this is the debate. This is the 5 of to get away from the argy bargy, which is the arguments that go around in circles and don't get anywhere. They're just partisan. But that's going to change the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, I think we're going to be able to. Someone's going to be able to lead that, to help. There'll be enough people to help change that, to manifest that, where there is bipartisanship, there's give and take. And then the 3 of Cups celebration. Yes, I don't think it's going to happen right away. Probably, I think after the 2022 elections, when I believe where the Dems are going to pick up some seats. But yeah, there's so many that desperately want it to go back to some legitimate debate.
I guess I don't have to read. Sharon just read all my cards as I was
Go ahead.
turning them. I
Well, I did it quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, I ran a row
Go
for
ahead.
the Congress and a row for the Senate. The Congress are taking the leap of faith. They're looking for the ships to come in on the debate side, and they will succeed in getting that debated argument, the King of Cups. It will be done with a lot of emotion, passion. Everybody will have their stand. Okay, so yes, the Congress will be open to that. Right now, I'm getting that with the Senate, we got the Queen of Pentacles. They're standing in their wealth, their money, their donors. They're feeling as if they're the hierophant, they're the higher powers, they're the ones that are controlling everything. But then I draw the Page of Wands, which is a messenger of as things change. When the minute I drew this card, I heard as things change, when the Senate, when the election for the seats coming open change, debate will change. And yes, there will be a coming together. And so I asked to clarify that. Does that mean that the 2022 election is going to have a change of power? I get the Lovers. Yes, that's my yes card. It will be a battle. With the Nine of Wands, there's a lot of worry about, are they going to be able to keep their seats or not? They're publicly announcing, we're going to take it again, because we always do when the president's Democrat, the Republicans hold the seats. But they're really worried about this because they have a legitimate cause to be worried. What they're doing now is showing, and it's hard to disguise that. Are they loyal to Donald, or are they going to represent their people? And that's the biggest problem, is they can't play both sides of the wall and win. And they're so afraid of Donald Trump, and that's where they're rolling their dice, that they're actually going to lose their seat. So I'm seeing that, yes, there's going to be a huge turnover. It's going to be very close. I know when I read earlier this year and did my predictions, I got like a 6-seat lead on the Senate towards the Democrats. So, 6 seats isn't that many. That makes it, you have a few that cross back and forth on issues, but at least there'll be a discussion. There'll be a working, when it's closer and there is some weight that can win one way or the other, there'll be more negotiation. I get victory on the negotiation part, though. That will come in time. It will get reestablished. It may take another term or so for it to happen, but it will happen. We're on a long road.
So I just pulled cards on the Senate specifically. And I'm just going to say it's a hot freaking mess right now. Because when I saw the Devil card, I felt like there's nothing. There's 2 opposing sides. It's negative. And it's like, the Dems and the Republicans are both nasty. There's no compromise. There's no sense of working together. They're all living within their own egos to where they're not even compromising. I mean, are all Republicans bad? No. Are all Democrats bad? No. I think that they're all like, what's in it for them, or what's in it for everybody else? Where's my piece of the pie on this? It's all about ego, really. It's and they're not just wanting to work together and finding that compromise, finding that balance, making good laws, making good decisions. It's just nastily driven. It's like, I don't know who this person is, but I think the Devil in this aspect is the negative tension between both parties. And it's not so much that they're bad or good. It's we all do bad things and we all do good things. But I'm also seeing, too, in the most recent past or the current present, I'm seeing that there are good intentions of taking those leaps of faith and going towards the light. But they're bound by their own parties, their own belief systems, their own agendas, and I don't think until this is this was my jumper here. This was at the bottom of my deck. Until I think it's going to be this woman that's going to be very respected. I'm not thinking this is going to be a Nancy Pelosi or anything. It's going to be fresh blood. That she's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Somebody like not a career politician that has been there for several years, but she's going to have the reputation of being a wise old soul.
You don't think that's Liz Cheney?
I don't know.
Because I've always felt that that's Liz Cheney that's going to be the one that brings the party back together into more of the old Republican.
But there's good news though. If once this teacher is discovered, she's going to end up converting everything for new businesses, new ideas, new jobs, new perspectives, new laws, and that's going to be the financial security, the health that people are looking for. And it's not going to be so much which party's passing or who this, that, and the other. It's going
Yeah,
to be, I call it a kumbaya, honestly, a kumbaya
Do you
thing.
get the feeling, Margie,
that's
that
what
when we
needs to
come together,
happen.
the wealthy will be protected as much as the people? It won't be
Mm.
destroy the wealth and hit them with 50%
No,
tax and free the people. It's going to take everything into big picture. The wealthy will get some taxes, not as high as we would like to see them, but they will have to pay a share. And the American people will get the jobs, the infrastructure, the money put back into the economy, the education, the healthcare plans fixed over a long period of time. That there
but
will be coming together of all parties. It won't be straight party line, us or them, and no compromise.
exactly. That's basically what I get with my cards because what is creating problems and division is that basically doing, you know, we did this and you guys did that, and you guys are ruining the country and we're building it up, and vice versa. That needs to stop. And that's basically what I'm getting right now with the rock star. That is the Knight of Wands. The energy is very fiery. It is too fiery. Everyone wants to be the rock star. Everyone wants to be the rock star. And then you get the fools that come, the fool that comes across that says, you're a bunch of fool. You want to be the rock star. You're doing everything that can be healthy or unhealthy to be that rock star. And that goes with both parties.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
I
specific to
agree.
a party. And basically, if we want this to happen, where there's healthy debate towards the growth for the country to grow, people need to, this is the Lovers card. People need to, kiss, hug, and make up so that we can build this kind of energy to make this ideology grow, because it's through debates that ideas come together and that we can build. Now, the Hermit is telling us that everybody wanted to. That's the past. Everybody was working for their. I'm seeing it as working for their own self. go- Um, um,
Self-interest.
exactly, and that's not going anywhere because you have the three-head dog over there. At the head of the reading, I still have the Ten of Pentacles, so monies need to be. Good night. I'm sorry, Ange. Have a good night. And the Ten of Pentacles is telling me that there is still money is always going to be a reason why this isn't working to a degree. But I get that eventually they will get there. I don't think it's going to be in 2022. I think if it does happen, it will be after 2024. Thinking about more like 2020, 2028, 2029. Now for the Senate, a brand new idea, a plan taking place, forming, and the judgment coming across it that says, you fools. And in the past, oh, before McCarthy, we're talking the 50s here. That is, that reminds me
Probably no
of another.
McConnell. McCarthy's is only in his late 50s. He's not that old.
No, I'm talking about in the 50s when there was the rise of communism and McCarthy. Like,
Oh, McCarthy is
McCarthyism? Yeah. Yeah, I'm talking that, before McCarthyism, things were going in the right directions. But now, not so much. I get communication here with the page of sword at the top and the knight of sword at the top and the page of sword at the bottom. It's about communication, but it doesn't feel good to me. For some reason, it doesn't feel good. There are some lessons being learned, but it's not on the up and up, and I don't know what makes me feel that way.
Because I think there's a lot of dark money, not just on one side. It's across the board. We're just not talking about the Dems and their dirty hands. We're only talking about the Republicans and their dirty hands.
Exactly. It's across the board. And that's the way we need to look at politics from now on, across the board, more than anything else. And then I get the Four of Pentacles hanging to what you have. So that's probably why these air swords make me feel uneasy, because people want to hold on to what they got. And I get the Hangman for the Senate at the back of the reading, and I get the Hierophant at the back of the deck for the Congress. So, yeah. So, hi Sharon, you came back. You came back. So, how are you guys doing? Other than that, how are things going? Are you having a good Mercury retrograde week? Sharon, you're on mute.
I'm getting a bit of a headache with all these politics. The RG bar.
And that was light.
And it's funny because I threw
Yeah,
one more
no, it's not a bad
question.
headache. It's not a bad headache. And I've threw for the Congress as well, and it's basically the same thing. There needs to be a new beginning. Temperance,
Mhm.
they need to practice that temperance. There needs to be a lot of things, tempered, purified. Like, as you all said, the devil, their ties to dark money, and that's on the dim side too. Stop this
Mhm.
kind of cowboy mentality on both sides and being super defensive. They need to come together. I do see that happening, but I agree with you, Sophie, that it's not going to be right away. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't mind to change the topic.
So one
Me
last
neither.
post question. I ended my 3 cards for each link to this question is I asked, will the 70 plus, the old party people in both parties, Democrats and Republicans, the ones that have been long term, the ones that are holding everything up, the ones that are less flexible, the McConnells, the Nancy Pelosi's. I mean, she's in her late 70s. Come on, let's bright woman, all that. She still has her faculty, but at some point in time, we need to retire. We need to go spend our time with our families and our grandchildren and enjoy our lives, and let the younger people come up and rise in power. So I asked, in 2024, will we see a departure in the old timer, positions, in the long-term longevity positions? Will we see them departing? I see that there will be a group of them are fighting all tooth and battle with that 5 of swords, a lot of infighting to try to keep their positions. Many of them will be voted out. And this is a 5-5-5 draw with the fight the swords. So they're going to be fighting tooth and nail to hold their positions. But I'm feeling this as a negative, with that 5, all those 5s, it's going to be a loss. You're going to see a lot of them either voted out or get some common sense and retire. So we're going to see a double double whammy on that. People like McConnell who need to step down. I think once he gets to the point where he knows he will no longer have leadership power and that he will have a less of a minority that he can even pull off his control of a minority vote, I think he'll finally step down and retire. So then I asked for the next election, what will that look like in regards to change of parties? I see a rise in the younger electors. They're going to rise up in power and become the kings of their party. What is left of the old party will die out. They're stressed. They won't be able to hold those seats anymore. By the 24, not the 24 election, but the 28 election, the rest of them will go down. And that will start the new beginning with the fool. And there will be a whole shift in government. It's a 2 more term time. So it's a 10-year, 12-year picture that we're going to see this, including the current years. We're going to have fruition of the change of the American government, moving to a more democracy level of governing again, where the negotiations, the parties working across the aisle, the change of the campaign laws, the dark money influences, all of that's going to change as the old parties retire out finally. I think we'll see a big change in. I'm feeling a huge change in term limits in all positions across the board. It's not going to be just the Congress or just the Senate or just the president. SCOTUS will be looked at. I think we'll be looking at 10, 20-year terms versus a lifetime term. When you're 98, you shouldn't be sitting on the Supreme Court making a decision when you're not even part of society anymore, technically. What you grew up with, times have changed. You're no longer modern. Yes, you understand the laws, etc., but you're not functioning in the real world and the impact of the working class. There's a time when you need to retire.
Yeah.
No, we don't agree with being forced out because of age. And yes, people in their 70s and 80s can have wonderful faculties and still be brilliant.
But for the most part, they're not, eventually it slows down.
Let it come forward.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Cheryl Gibson. Thank you for coming. I saw someone else too. We had Ange before. Nasty Women Terror. Is that Lisa? Or was that you?
No, that was me. I changed
Okay.
I
You
changed
changed
accounts
back?
and I changed back. I didn't realize I was a nasty woman. So,
Hey, I have
okay,
a question. Yeah.
Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I had a question about, maybe that should be our last question because we're fading away. But I was
Yeah, I'm
wondering,
fading.
you too, let's make it fun though. How do we live through Mercury retrograde? How can we survive Mercury retrograde?
Are
You
you
know,
asking
we
how
have
to
that
counteract the negativeness that comes forward?
I think
How do we turn that
how
around?
you get through it is I think how you I mean this is coming from me from my mind.
Yeah,
For me when things go wrong, I've never been one, for example, technical issues. I've never been one who gets frustrated with that. I just keep trying. And,
yeah.
if things go wrong, then during Mercury retrograde, I just go, it's Mercury retrograde, like flow with it, just roll with it. Because, I mean, what are you going to
Okay.
do? Right? It's not,
Don't
That's what
it's
I
not
try
going to
to
get
do.
any better because, yes, it's not going to get any better if you take a temper tantrum or that sort of thing. You just got to roll with it. Just make sure
That's
you're not
right.
signing, important contracts, right? Or I wouldn't get married during Mercury retrograde. But
I'm
Hi,
laughing.
Patricia.
just
It's
watch
not
it.
time to be your own mechanic if you don't know anything about fixing cars.
Yeah, Cecil said duck. Is that
So
what you were laughing
Yeah,
about?
Doc. That's right.
I asked my
Yeah,
guide.
yeah.
He's like, you just put one foot for the
Mhm.
other and just live through it.
Knowing Jimmy, he died laughing when
right.
he said, "Oh, you
That's
really want
right.
me to answer that?"
I
Yeah,
agree with
always look.
Jimmy. You just got to roll with it.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
just
just
got to
put
roll
one
with it.
foot from the other and just deal with
try
it.
to. Yeah, try to
And
look at the glass half full. Sometimes it's
yeah,
tough because it looks like
exactly.
3/4 empty, but it is half full. Yeah.
My guide's
I
Yeah,
two pieces of
yeah.
advice
Well,
on the retrograde is
I
plan
think
ahead. Excuse me, Sharon. My
no,
my
go ahead.
my
Go ahead.
my guides say plan ahead, prepare in advance before you tackle the. If you're supposed to be online for a meeting, get everything up and running ahead of time, 30 minutes early, so that if it's gonna fail, you have time to not panic, trying to get on time, that kind of stuff. Which is, we all know we run a little late all the time, anyways, because Mercury retrograde's a constant. The other thing is, don't start your day going, it's Mercury retrograde, I'm living under Murphy's
No,
law. If something could go wrong, it will, because all
no.
you're doing is putting out there the universe, come on, bring it on. So
Oh, I don't do
thinking
that at
negative.
all.
See
Yeah.
that you're going to be calm, see yourself planning, be prepared, and expect the unexpected, and see yourself handling it, and then you're okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I mean,
I
Murphy,
did
Dean, wouldn't
have
you
some fun.
say
I put
as
some
a
cards on it.
and I'm sorry, Sharon, now go.
What?
well, okay, I just wanted to say, Dean, probably our experiences as a teacher, things rarely go as you plan it. You have to
That's
Oh
roll
yes.
with it, right? You have to
Uh-huh.
roll with it. And so I think
Yes.
that's good training for life as well. You just got to roll with the punches.
I
And being
did
the
throw cards
ADD
on this
student,
just to see how
you
humorous it would
did.
be.
Yeah,
Yeah, go
good.
ahead, Dean.
I did.
Go ahead, Dean. Go
Um
ahead.
okay. So I did the 3 cards though, and I'll do the undercard too. I did get the 7 of Swords, so you can't hide from it. As much as you try, the truth is still behind you. You just have to face it.
I love that.
And
Yeah.
I have the King of Cups here. Like you said, sailing with it. It was like, well, it's like life can be ugly and it can be pretty. It's messy. Just like sail through it like the King of Cups, right? And then love to enjoy it. Love to get used to the idea to get comfortable with the uncomfortable, basically. Because when it boils down to it, everything that really matters will all in line, right? They will all in line over you. And that this is the 9 of Cups. Everything will find its own balance. You'll be in harmony, at peace with self. And last but not least, the card that I have on the bottom is the 7 of Pentacles, which is telling me those dreams that you had, those ideas, there still could be manifested and planted to take root, but you're just gonna have to see it through the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever how that looks.
I heard one phrase while you were talking. Learn to laugh about it, which is what we're doing right now. Is
Yep.
we're all experiencing our own
Yep.
forms of retrograde and our little disasters throughout this week and this retrograde. But we can sit here and laugh about it and say, and we survived, and go on to see the other day. So
Yep.
beautiful. I love the reading, Dean. Wonderful. And you're so gorgeous.
I
Yeah.
because
Dean. Yeah.
because Dean threw cards. Oh, go ahead. I've got cards too, but you go first.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I love
I'll
your
go
short
last.
screen, Sophie. That's beautiful.
Oh, that's a Disney
Okay.
villain.
Yeah,
Go for it.
I
I want
I
that
want to
deck,
do
the
the
Disney
split
villain.
screen as well. Yeah. That's great. Okay, well, what I got is, temperance. Just have just have some balance and, chill. And I got the Queen of Cups. So don't be the upside down queen who's, really emotional about it. Just, be mature. Be mature emotionally about it. Just go with it. And I got the Sun, like the innocence of a child, like have fun. You
Yeah.
you can't change it. Just embrace it with open arms. You don't need to crawl under a rock. This is the Hermit. Just like the King of Pentacles, just handle it. Just handle it, you baby.
Well, I got the Six of Coins, which is basically with the world. And it basically the feeling that I get is to be generous. Be generous to Mercury. Be generous
Yeah.
to your to yourself. Be towards yourself. And when I mean generous, we're not talking about giving away money. It's just be generous. Just have a charitable heart. Open your heart. And this shit happens to the whole world, not just you. And often it is to bring you closer to a crossroad where you have to make a choice to make you grow. And at the back, the fool. Just roll with it. Don't make
Cards.
a drama out of everything. You, roll with it.
I'm
Just be a
getting
fool.
telepathic impressions from Dean. I've got to get that deck.
Actually, I have it on my wish list on Amazon right now.
The
And
villain.
Amazon, Dean
when I
Rice.
ordered this deck and get it in, I would like to do a collab with you to go through your
Sure.
cards and just do a deep
Yes,
dive with that deck. That'd be fun to do.
God, I
What do we
love
get
that
on
deck.
this?
it would
How do we
be.
feel?
I pre-ordered it, and after I kept on delaying it, I finally canceled it and bought like 2 other decks. And
Yeah,
I have not put it on my reorder, but I think I'm gonna have to get that. I love that.
at
And of
first
course,
I
the
was
new Alice in
disappointed
Wonderland
with
deck.
it.
I really need the new Alice in Wonderland deck put out by Disney that just came out.
It's been
Oh,
out for a while. It's on back order again.
Oh, is it?
So,
oh,
yes,
really?
it's on back order.
And I have a thing about Alice in Wonderland. I love the storyline. I
I
love
do
all the.
too.
We have different Alice in Wonderland decks, but we
Yes,
do
I
have.
had the Dane Darcy version of Alice in Wonderland, and I love that. I
Yeah.
love it because
Never
it's
did that.
mysterious and dark and it's interesting.
No, this is
Yeah.
my box. I always have to grab my box.
And actually, I bought Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass because it was a donation to the public library here in town. And when I saw it, I bought the 10
Looking Glass
cents. It
version.
was a beautiful book.
Oh, it's absolutely the storyline of the Looking Glass is one of my favorite versions.
Yes, and I bought it for my daughter, but I think I might take it back and reread it.
Oh yeah, you're sharing it with
classic.
your
Classics
daughter.
never
It's a
die.
classic, yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that was probably a collector's book too, because that's a hard one to find now. It's getting harder and harder to find.
It was hardback
Yeah.
and it had a dust cover on it too.
Oh, it did. Wow, that's
Wow.
rare.
Well, I guess this is it, guys. It's 1:45. It's I promised myself I would do like hour and a half live stream. I haven't done one of those yet. It's a lot of
You're an
fun.
hour over, Sophie.
Yeah.
Even
Well,
if we did start late.
exactly. Yeah, I know. But I want to thank everyone for coming. And sorry for whining earlier today, but I just had to. And you guys listened to me, and you made me feel better. So thank you.
Great support.
Thank you very
system.
much. Absolutely. So I want to thank all of you for coming. And
I guess I missed the whining.
oh, you
Oh, it was
yeah.
a clip
I must have
of-
missed the
of
whining.
her bad day.
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
what
dear.
a week thing. Yeah, it's been bad, but that's
Oh,
okay. I've
okay.
learned through it, and there was some positive to it as well. Now,
Actually,
next week I won't
it
have a
wasn't
live.
whine. It was I made it through it. I didn't freak out. It was actually
Yeah,
good. It was a
the
good
meds work.
wine.
And the meds are working. Yay. But but seriously, next Friday I won't be on because I'm getting some teeth pulled. Yeah, that's part of my Mercury
Mm.
week. And but we'll see you the week after. And oh, don't forget Wednesday we're having our first Diva Den show, and our special guest is Benabel Wen. And Ali from Heart and Soul Connected will
Heart and
be
soul,
there
yeah.
as well as yeah, Heart and Soul, thank you, will be there as well to keep Kathy and I in line as we are doing the interview. So Benabel Wen is a
Oh
great
boy.
author for Caro, and yeah,
Good
you
luck.
guys on Wednesday at 5 Eastern.
Although I could use some lining up, but
Or maybe put some pep into us if in case we're too tired. Who knows? But thank you very much, everybody, for coming, and you all can have a good night. Bye bye.
yes,
Bye.
thank you. Bye.
Bye.